Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everybody's well this afternoon.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Afternoon. Let's see, I see Ms. Kim and Ms. Gant. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Do we have, who's here with the state? Mr. Segura and Ms. Falk. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Miss Sowery is also present, Your Honor, so she should, if she's not in the Zoom already, she should, well, she is here.
Okay, I see you. I see you. Thank you, Ms. Falk. Afternoon. Okay, let's see. Who do we have first in courtroom 2?
This is going to be position 8, Mr. Griffin.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I do apologize for interrupting. I just want to make you aware that I will need a breakout with the interpreter for position 7 and 11.
7 and 11.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And are you aware of that courtroom 2?
No.
Okay, well, so for 7 and 11, Ms. Gant's going to need a breakout for the interpreter, and I don't know if I see the interpreter on as of yet.
One is confirmed for today, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. So once we get her on, maybe we can get them placed into another courtroom if possible.
And Your Honor, also, I did waive the appearance for position 4.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
And who's representing Mr. Griffin? Is this position 8, Mr. Griffin?
Yes, Your Honor. It will be conflict attorney. It is Watson Cafe. I
Okay,
believe she is scheduled to be on.
all right. I don't see Ms. Watson Cafe on the line at the present time, courtroom 2. Could we go to someone else?
Yes. We can do position 19, Mr. Smith. Okay, you can.
Okay, thank you. Who represents Mr. Smith?
I believe it is me, Your Honor, J. Kim.
The attorney is not there, that's why.
Good afternoon, Mr. Smith. I'm Judge Eric Meyer. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Smith, you've been charged in case 22 CR 003549F with battery family violence. Who do we have on for pretrial? Miss Roberts?
Good morning.
Hi, good afternoon, Ms. Roberts. Is there a history?
Good afternoon. Yes. One cycle from January of this year for driving while license suspended, and there's no disposition listed and nothing further to add.
Okay, Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened at 10 Cedar Run in Sandy Springs, Georgia. And it occurred between the defendant, Ms. Denea Pryor, that is Denaya, last name Pryor, Pryor. Ms. Pryor reported that she and the defendant with whom she lives had been arguing back and forth throughout the day. And then once coming back to that residence at 10 Cedar Run, they continued to argue, at which point the defendant became physical with Ms. Pryor. He actually took her head and began slamming it on the steps multiple times, which resulted in a swollen knot to her eye. Officers could clearly observe that, and they reported that and recorded that in their warrant. Although the defendant has only one cycle for driving while license suspended, we were able to get in contact with Ms. Pryor. She stated that they are in a relationship and live together. They do share 2 children, and that the defendant has anger issues, and she stated he needs to take anger management courses. She also stated that she does not currently feel safe with him coming back into the home, and that additionally she had filed for a TPO approximately 1 month ago, but has not heard back from the court regarding a date. She said she would like to limit her contact to phone only. She would like a stay away, and she would like one-time law enforcement for him to retrieve his belongings, as well as third-party transfer of the children. So we are going to ask for the same on behalf of Ms. Pryor and ask for a $3,000 surety bond, no further contact with Denea Pryor, 1-day anger awareness, stay away from 10 Cedar Run in Sandy Springs, Georgia. I understand that Ms. Pryor did ask for limited contact via phone with this defendant. However, as you well know, Your Honor, that would be very hard to regulate as well as maintain, and it could very well get out of hand. He could still have third-party contact with the two minor children, but we just think for right now, especially if there's a TPO in process, that no further contact is just the best way to go at this point.
Thank you, Ms. Falk. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Pretrial services recommended him for unsecured judicial relief, and we would like to request for signature on bond. He says that DUI should be a wrong information. He was not arrested for any kind of DUI in the past, so maybe that's something that we have to verify. He's 31 years old, and he has 3 children actually. So we would like to have a third party transfer for 3 children, and he has a job, very secure job. He has had that for the last 2 years, and he has his girlfriend and family is here, and he has a bachelor's degree. His major was computer science, and we would like to request for a signature on bond. We do not object for stay away nor no further contact at all, as long as we have a one-time law enforcement officer visit to take his personal belongings, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, it's going to be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial, 1-day anger awareness, stay away from 10-seater run, no further contact with Ms. Pryor. He can have a one-time escort to 10-seater run with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings that he might have there, and third-party contact with his children.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, did you put in place the 1-day anger awareness that the victim and the state requested?
I did.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything further for Mr. Smith?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Okay, good luck to you, Mr. Smith.
Can I say something?
No,
Mr. Smith, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. I suggest that if you want to speak with Ms. Kim at a later date, that she'd be happy to speak with you. Is that correct, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Mr. Crane, position 1, he's an add-on.
Yes, Your Honor, that's mine as well.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Crane. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Crane, you've been charged in case 22 CR 0035588H with possession and use of drug-related objects, giving false information to law enforcement, equipment required on a bicycle, and giving false information, another count of giving false information to law enforcement. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
Yes, give me one moment, please. He has 9 cycles out of Kentucky, with the last being from 2018. He has a conviction from 2018 out of Kentucky for contempt of court. His last arrest was October 4th of 2021 for possession of meth, possession and use of drug-related objects, driving while license suspended in Noonan, Georgia. That case does not appear to be open. He does appear to have an open case out of Fulton County for possession of a Schedule II controlled substance and possession and use of drug-related objects, 21 CP 198404. And he does appear to be on probation out of Fayette County for possession of a Schedule II controlled substance. That disposition was December of 2021, and the sentencing was 3 years probation. And nothing further. He has 3 cycles out of Georgia.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Segura.
Good afternoon. This occurred on June the 4th, 2022, at the location of Fulton Road near Main Street, Palmetto, Fulton. In this incident, Officers conducted a traffic stop on the defendant because he did not have the proper lighting equipment on his bicycle as he was riding in that incident location. When he was asked, he was not able to provide an ID, but he stated his name was Arthur Evans, with a date of birth of May 15th, 1964. Police were unable to validate the name, and when they tried to ask him again, the defendant changed the order of his names to Evans Arthur. Then afterwards, when the police officers noticed that the certificate that he gave Mr. Arthur Evans was a different suspect in which the police were familiar with. Once noted of that fact, the defendant gave up his actual name and date of birth. And they figured out that he mostly lied about it because he had warrants on him out of both Fayetteville County and Noonan County. When he was arrested, his bag was searched, and in it they found a clear smoking pipe with burnt residue at the bottom of the base, alongside bags containing some white crystal-like substance, which the police identify as possibly being methamphetamines. As such, the state is recommending a $5,000 split bond, $1,000 surety for possession and use of drug-related object, $2,000 surety for giving false information to law enforcement in regards to his name, and $1,000 for equipment required on bicycles. And as for the $1,000 signature bond, it's for the false information that was added that relating to his date of birth. Make this decision based on these facts, as far as we're concerned of his risk of reoffending, as it does have an outstanding warrant out of Noonan County from February the 23rd, 2022 for an FTA. Alongside, he has a probation violation out of Fayette County from December 28th, 2021. And also we're concerned that he might be commit the same type activities again, as he was arrested and found guilty in the 2020 possession of controlled substance and 2021 arrest and having a drug-related object for methamphetamine. Alongside, we're concerned he has a lack of community ties because, as pre-trial has noted, has recent 2018 arrests and FTAs resigned from Kentucky, and we're concerned he could escape and simply leave if he's released on bond, as he has weak community ties, and as well as risk of reoffending because he committed similar crimes before. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, it's going to be $1,000 signature bond for each count, which is a $4,000 signature bond through the jail. Is that okay with you, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, anything further for Mr. Crane?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
We ask no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond.
Yes, of course, Mr. Segura. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Crane. And courtroom 2, I see that Ms. Watson Cafe is on the line with us now, which if you want to go back to position 8, we can do that.
Yes, that's fine, Judge.
Ms. Watson Cafe, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing well, Your Honor. How are you?
Good, thank you. Mr. Griffin, I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Did you hear me, Mr. Griffin?
I really didn't hear you.
Okay, that's fine. We're doing this by video. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Okay, you've been charged in case 22 CR 003537D with simple battery family violence. Is there a history?
Yes, he has 6 cycles, with the last arrest being January 22nd, 2020 out of Fulton County for aggravated assault, stalking, and criminal trespass. The aggravated assault, stalking, and disorderly conduct were convictions from February 24th of 2020. And then he had a 2019 conviction of willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer out of Cobb County, and nothing further.
Okay. Ms. Hurd?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, officers responded to 2909 Campbellton Road in Atlanta regarding a physical dispute. The victim in this case, her name is Michaela, that's Michaela. Last name is Vaughn, Vaughn. She told officers that she was at the incident location visiting the defendant when she saw his phone and saw that he was texting another female. The victim stated that she asked the defendant about this and he became irate. And the victim stated that the defendant then said he was going to leave her at the incident location. And as she proceeded to get into his vehicle, he pushed her in the face and pushed her out of the vehicle. Your Honor, as we've heard from pretrial, this defendant does have an ag assault from 2020. That was against the same victim where he was denied bond because he was a substantial risk of danger to the victim. He also recently finished probation in February of 2022, and then he reoffended against the same victim within 3 months. And in that case, he was issued a stay away. He also has a 2018 simple assault that was a guilty conviction that was not this victim. The state's recommendation is a $5,000 surety bond with conditions of no contact with the victim, a stay away from the victim's address, 1-day anger awareness, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons.
Is that the Campbellton Road address, Ms. Sori?
No, Your Honor, it's not.
Do we have the address?
I can grab that in 1 moment.
Okay. Ms. Watson Cafe?
You want the 3 cards? You want the 3 cards? Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were saying, yes, Your Honor. Mr. Griffin is a lifelong resident of Georgia. He has very strong family ties, as he is a lifelong resident. His entire family lives here. We would be asking for a significantly reduced bond of about $1,000. He's currently employed as a forklift driver where he works full-time at several locations, the CNN building. I see World Congress building, Omni Mark building as well. He currently resides with his dad in Union City and or Fairburn. We heavily deny these allegations. We look forward to having his day in court to aggressively fight against these allegations. Based on all of that, Your Honor, we'd be asking for a significantly reduced bond of $1,000.
And Your
Sure.
Honor, sorry, the victim's address is 240 Promenade, that's Promenade Way in Atlanta, 30331.
And there's no objection to a stay away, Your Honor. My client doesn't want contact.
Ms. Watson Cafe, your client has his hand up.
Can we speak afterward, Mr. Griffin? Okay.
Okay. It's going to be a $3,000 good bond, no further contact with Ms. Vaughn, stay away from the Promenade Way address, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Griffin.
Okay. I have a question for the judge. You have a question?
Yeah, he has a question for you, Judge.
Yes, oh, wow, Ms. Watson Cafe?
Is it related to the bond and not the case?
Mr.
Griffin?
It's related to the stay away because I was completing a stay away, but she came around me to the location that you just said, 2909 Campbellton Road. I was staying away. She came around me.
Right, but your address is my understanding. Your address is the Violin Parkway address, correct?
That's my current address right now.
Right, so you can stay away from the other address.
No. I'm saying, okay, I was ordered to stay away from the victim prior to the charge.
Mr. Griffin, let me just make it easy for you. If you see her coming, go the other way. Okay, so you're not to be around her. That can get you in trouble. So, if you see her, turn and go.
All right.
Okay. Good luck to you, sir.
Position 20, Mr. Ward.
And this is Curtis Ward, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ward. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Ward, you've been charged in case 22 CR 003550D with fear evasion and carrying a concealed weapon. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
No, he doesn't have a history on file.
Thank you. Ms. Falk?
I may be looking, let me go back and look at his GCIC, because I think either I have something different or I may have just switched those around. Oh, no. That is correct. He does not have any prior offenses. So this happened at Hamilton Homes MARTA station at 70 Hamilton E. Holmes Drive, Northwest Atlanta. And it occurred on June 4th. The defendant entered through the breeze gate without attempting to pay the $2.50 fare. And upon arrest, they did find a gun on him without a carry license, which would be required for this area. We are requesting a $4,500 split bond, a $4,000 surety bond on the gun charge, and a $500 signature bond on the fare evasion. We are also requesting that he stay away from this MARTA station at Hamilton Homes, the location of that 70 Hamilton E. Holmes Drive, Northwest Atlanta. And we are asking that he have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Our particular concern about this, Your Honor, and you well know, anybody who's opened a newspaper, turned on the news, or gone even online has seen what the guns are doing currently to different locations, including bus and train stations. So we've had at least 2 shootings up in New York on train stations recently. And so there is a definite concern and a safety risk to individuals bringing guns on public transportation. And so although we recognize the defendant does not have a prior history, we are deeply concerned about bringing guns into a public area, particularly a public transit area, especially during these times.
Thank you. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Borders is 18 years old, and he's expecting a baby. Is coming, not himself. His girlfriend is expecting a baby. It's December 22, so he is soon to be a father, and his parents and all his families are here in Georgia since he was born and raised here in Georgia. And he is a full-time student at Auburn State University studying business, and he is playing a football. He is a defense back position. And he also has a part-time job soon to start on June 13 at UPS. This is his first time. His father, Curtis Ward, is willing to become his co-signer, or Miss Elizabeth Robinson, who is his sister, who is older than 25 years old, is also willing to become his co-signer. We would like to request for signature on bond as pretrial also recommended, and get out of the jail and go back to school. Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Karen? Ms.
Yes,
Karen,
sir.
your client has his hands up. I'm not sure if it's in relation to the co-signer or not.
No. I would
His
like
hand went up when you was talking about the co-signer.
Co-signer. I don't want you to say anything about the facts of the case. If you have any question, please call me.
Judge,
Yes.
also we have his parents here on his behalf.
Okay,
maybe that's what it
that's
was.
okay, so, and all right, I see them there. One of them is gonna be his co-signer.
Yes.
What are the names, Ms. Kim? So,
His father's name is Curtis Ward, as Mr. Curtis Ward is a junior. They have a same name. I do not have mother's name, Your Honor.
Did you want her to come in, Judge?
no, that's fine. I'm gonna give him a signature bond with one of his parents signing him out. I just need to know what his mother's name is.
What's your name, ma'am? Vanessa Hicks? Okay, Vanessa Hicks.
Okay. So it's gonna be $1,000 signature bond through pretrial for the fare evasion, a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial for the weapon charge, which makes it a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial with a co-signer of either Curtis Ward or Vanessa. What was Miss Vanessa's last name?
Hicks,
Say it again.
it takes with the H.
Okay. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
And Your Honor, regarding the Marta stay away from that station?
Yes, and and stay away from the Hamilton Homes Marta station. Thank you, Ms. Ball. All right, good luck to you, Mr. Ward. Let's see, I see that we have maybe the interpreter cases in courtroom. Well, they were on here.
Courtroom 3, Judge. Yes.
Courtroom 3, are they still on?
They're in the breakout room, Judge.
Oh, they're already there. Okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. George. And the interpreter's there with them?
Yes, Judge, that's correct.
And which attorneys is handling those cases?
PD Wanda Gant.
Oh, Ms. Gant. All right, very good. Thank you. I appreciate that, Mr. Jordan. Anything further on Mr. Ward? If not, who do we have next?
We can do Mr. Hargrove, position 10. You're done.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt. We have a plea for position 15 and we need a breakout for position 16.
Okay, so does courtroom 2 have the paperwork for the plea?
You can email it to, we'll put it in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Hargrove. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Hargrove, you've been charged in case 22 CR 003539Y with simple battery, family violence, and terroristic threats. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
I am not showing any history, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Sari?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, officers responded to 4300 Janice Drive in College Park regarding a physical dispute. Officers met with the defendant and the victim, whose name is Tiffany, that's Tiffani, same last name as the defendant. And they both stated they were in an argument about moving their mother's vehicle when it escalated. While the officers were speaking with both parties, the defendant threatened to beat the victim's ass. The officers then attempted to separate the two, and the defendant pushed the victim to the ground and continued to threaten her in their presence. And this entire incident was captured on body cam. The victim, we were able to reach out and speak with her. She stated they do not live together, so we're not going to ask for a stay away, and we'll go ahead and amend the charge as well. She did state that she was not in fear of the victim, but she did not need to talk with him. So we are asking for a no contact, as well as a $2,000 surety bond and 1-day anger awareness course.
Is that $1,000 per charge, Ms. Sari?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Watson Cafe?
Yes, Your Honor, we're asking for a signature bond. Mr. Hargrove has been in the state of Georgia for 15 years. He has very strong ties to the community. He currently works at the airport full-time, where he has been for the last 6 months. This is, the allegations in here are very much denied. So we look forward to having our day in court to fight these charges. I don't believe that the state can point to anything to point to any reason why he should not receive a signature bond in this matter. So based on that, Your Honor, we would be asking for a signature bond.
And Your Honor, we're asking for a surety bond based on these events occurring in front of the officer. The officers were there to go ahead and diffuse the situation, yet he pushed her in their presence. Nothing further.
And he's been, and at this stage, he enjoys the presumption of innocence. So again, we're denying these allegations and we're asking for a signature bond.
Okay, it's gonna be a $2,000 signature bond on each charge, so a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial, one-day anger awareness, no further contact with Ms. Hargrove, stay away from the Janice Drive address, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
And Your Honor, the 4300 address, we were given information from the victim that's the defendant's address, so we're not asking for a stay away.
Oh, okay, thank you. So no stay away. But he has to stay away from the victim, alleged victim. Okay, good luck to you, Mr. Hargrove.
Mr. Kendall, come on, Mr. Kendall. Position 13, Kendall.
Is this your case also, Ms. Watson Cafe?
Yes, sir.
Who's representing Mr. Kendall?
It will be J. Kim, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Kendall. I'm Judge Eric Moore. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Kendall. You've been charged in case 22 CR 003541F with criminal trespass. Is there a history?
Mm,
No,
No.
don't talk. No, you don't say nothing.
Can you tell me that position number again, please?
Say it again, Ms. Roberts.
What was that position number?
He's position 13.
Okay, give me one moment. Yes, he has 75 cycles. Last arrest was April 24th of 2022 for theft by shoplifting. That case does appear to be open. He has had 10 criminal trespass convictions. The last one was in 2008. He has 5 theft by shoplifting convictions, 3 disorderly conduct convictions, with the last being in 2016, 3 theft by taking convictions, with the last one being in 2015. And then he had a 2019 conviction for possession of cocaine and giving false name. And nothing further to add.
Thank you. Ms. Sarn?
Yes, Your Honor, the incident location of this incident is at Walgreens. That's 25 Peachtree Street, Southeast in Atlanta. Officers responded regarding a criminal trespass where the defendant was found inside of Walgreens after being issued a criminal trespass back in September of last year. As we've heard from pretrial, this defendant does have multiple criminal trespass convictions. The state's recommendation is a $1,500 surety bond with conditions of staying away from the incident location. Nothing further.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Kendall is 67 years old and he has no family members here in Georgia, no job. His highest education was 10th grade, and we recommended for social worker services and his behavioral health evaluation. We would like to request for a signature on bond because he has no financial means to make any kind of bond payment. And yet, if Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond, we would like to request for $250 surety bond, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, it's gonna be a $500 good bond, a social worker visit, stay away from the Walgreens at 25 Peachtree Street, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck to you, Mr. Kendall.
You're done. Position 16, Mr. Pryor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Pryor. I'm Judge Eric Moore. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Pryor, you've been charged in case 22 CR 003546C with simple battery and 4 counts of obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
Yes, he has 14 cycles. Last arrest was September of 2015 for a probation violation out of Fulton County. He has a 2012 battery conviction, a 2007 conviction for terroristic threats, and 2 counts of aggravated assault, a 1997 conviction for aggravated assault, and then 3 driving while license suspended convictions, 1992, 94, and 95. And nothing further.
Ms. Sari?
Yes, Your Honor, this is this is a case where we requested a breakout.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Sorry. Let's see. Mr. Jordan, can you put Ms. Sari, Ms. Falk, Ms. Kim, and myself into a breakout room? Does anybody else need to be in that breakout room? Okay, thank you, Mr. Jordan. Okay, Mr. Pryor, we've had the opportunity to speak with counsel on your case. For the simple battery, it's $1,000 good bond. For each of the obstructions, it's going to be a $500 good bond. So it's a total of a $3,000 good bond. No further contact with Ms. Ringer and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, sir.
Local bond company. Yes. Your Honor, next we have position number 12.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Holmes. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Holmes, you've been charged in case 22 CR 003540A with willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, 2 counts. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
Yes, 3 cycles. Last arrest was November 25th, 2020 for aggravated assault in Fairburn. That case appears to be open. And then I only saw 1 conviction from 2007 for driving while license suspended or revoked. And nothing further.
Thank you, Ms. Story.
Yes, Your Honor, this incident occurred at the Comfort Inn inside the parking lot at 1500 Market Boulevard in Roswell. Officer, I can't pronounce his last name, I'll just say why. He was patrolling the area when he saw the defendant walking through the parking lot. This officer had prior knowledge of the defendant being wanted out of Clayton County. So he made contact with the defendant and the defendant refused to identify himself and attempted to walk away. Once the officer ordered the defendant to stop, he continued to pull and attempt to run to the hotel. A short pushing match ensued. And eventually the defendant was ordered to the ground and he got up and attempted to run away again. The state's recommendation is a $3,000 surety bond with conditions of no further violent contact with Officer YAVTUSHENKO and to stay away from the incident location. Nothing further.
Ms. Watson Cafe, this is your client? No? Whose client is, who's representing Mr. Holmes?
Your Honor, this is actually Miss Wanda Gant's client, Your Honor.
Okay. Regardless, I was going to give Mr. Holmes a signature bond, so I'll let Ms. Gant know it's going to be a $1,000 signature bond through the jail on each charge, so a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. No further violent contact with the officer. Stay away from the Comfort Inn and on Market Boulevard, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Mr. Holmes, I'm going to allow you to sign yourself out, but you're going to have to make sure that you come back for your next hearing. Otherwise, they're going to put a warrant out for you, okay? All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Sorry, Your Honor, you know we got this fire alarm keeps going off. So
No, I understand.
Yeah, I told them to give you a thumbs up.
Okay, thank you.
Trying to find. Can we do position 15, Mr. Moore?
Okay, so he's gonna be taking a plea pro se. Have we had him fill the paperwork out yet?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. I was waiting for the email in the chat for the jail.
Okay, it's my understanding, according to that, he's gonna be taking a plea, so we're gonna need for him to complete the paperwork before we can,
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll have him sit back down. You know, have to sit over there.
And again, Your Honor, if we could get that email address in the chat so that Miss Sowery can send that paperwork so that we don't have any more delay.
Okay, so Who is sending the paperwork? I'm happy to make the request, Ms. Falk, but I don't know who it's coming from.
Ms. Sowery is going to send the paperwork. Usually they just give us a deputy's name that we email it to over at the jail so they can have the defendant sign it.
Hey, Ms. Falk.
Sir.
We can't say our first name, but you know this is Officer Norris.
Norris, got it. I will get it done. Thank you.
Thank you. Your Honor.
Yes.
We have position 5, position 6, position 1, and position 9. I don't know if those are all.
Position 9.
Your position 9, Ms. Cafe?
Yes.
Okay, then we can go to position 9. Mr. Hampton.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hampton. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Hampton, you've been charged in case 22 CR 003538B with theft by taking. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
30 cycles, 28 out of Florida, 2 out of Georgia. Last arrest was from August of 2017 for touch or strike domestic violence and possession of cocaine in Orange County, Florida. Has a 2017 conviction out of Florida for possession of controlled substance. A 2017 conviction out of Florida for possession of cocaine. 2015 possession of marijuana misdemeanor out of Florida conviction. 2015 possession of cocaine conviction out of Florida, and then a 2010 possession of a controlled substance out of Florida, and nothing further.
Who's presenting for the state? Ms. Falk, Ms. Sari, Mr. Segura.
Your Honor, that should be Mr. Segura.
Position 9?
Mr. Hampton.
Mine ends at position 7 is my final.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what position was that?
At 9.
9, okay, that's me. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
That's fine. Go ahead whenever you're ready. Thank you, Ms. Falk.
No problem, Your Honor.
Your Honor, this incident occurred at 3100 Tree Ridge Parkway, where officers responded regarding the victim and the defendant involved in a situation in the parking lot. The victim's name is Ashley. First name is spelled ASHLI, last name Johnson, common spelling. The victim informed officers that she and the defendant used to date. And she further stated that the defendant came over to confront her while she was sitting in her car. And then he used an object to take her tag off of her vehicle and then left the scene. The state's recommendation in this case is a $2,000 surety bond with conditions of staying away from the incident location, no contact with the victim, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond. Nothing further.
Yes, Your Honor. We are asking for a signature bond. I am aware of his history, but based on the nature of the charges, his ties to the community, and his lack of resources to make any bond, we would be asking for my apologies, Your Honor, we'd be asking for a signature bond. He's been in Georgia for the past 3 years. He and Ms. Johnson moved together from Florida here in hopes of starting a better life. He has 4 minor children, 3 of which they share together, and they both provide for the best of their ability. He is currently not working or does not have steady employment. And so, again, this involves the alleged taking of a tag off the vehicle. we would ask that Your Honor consider the fact that he's not working, the fact that he has 4 kids that he has to provide for, 3 of which he shares with the alleged victim in this case. And the fact that he's been here in Georgia for 3 years and does have significant ties, as he has a number of family members that are in the area. I'm sorry.
I was just saying, does he have somewhere else to go besides this Tree Ridge Parkway address?
That is an extended stay, Your Honor. I would say so, but my understanding is that he would have liked to return there.
Has anyone spoken with Ms. Johnson regarding?
I have not, Your Honor.
her issues? Okay. I'm sorry, Ms. Watson Cafe, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
No, that was all. My understanding is that it's an extended stay. So.
Okay.
And we were not able to reach the victim as well, Your Honor, but we would ask for the no contact. And if he could be issued a 1-day or a one-time escort, we would be amenable to that.
Okay, I'm gonna give him a signature bond, Ms. Watson Cafe, $1,000 signature bond through the jail. But until someone speaks with Ms. Johnson, I'm also gonna have to issue a stay away or no further contact with her. And he can go back to that extended stay if he has any belongings there, one time with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. If someone speaks with Ms. Johnson, Ms. Watson Cafe, and she has other wishes, then you can always seek a modification of the no further contact.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Hampton.
You too.
Judge, was that $1,000 signature bond through the jail?
Yes, it was.
Okay, and also, Judge, I have a quick announcement for position 20, Mr. Ward.
Okay.
As far as the cosign, we have
Officer Rogers, I checked her in on her way in, and I do believe I was rushing, I misplaced her ID. I think I maybe gave it to someone else. And from my understanding, she has to go sign him out through pretrial. I wanted to pay for her ID, but she wants to get him out today. And it was my mistake that I misplaced her ID within 30 minutes she had been in here.
Okay, so Miss Vanessa's ID was misplaced, and you can't find. I'm just trying to figure out what you're telling me, that is misplaced.
I signed her in the lobby to
That is
court
correct, yes.
for him, and I did misplace her ID within the 30 minutes she was in the court.
Okay, was Mr. Curtis Ward the father? Was he there also? I thought he was there also.
No, his sister.
And how old's his sister?
Older sister? Oh, she's 31. She's 31.
Okay, what's her name?
Beatrice,
Beatrice?
the same last name? Bell. Beatrice Bell, B-E-L-L.
Okay, so Miss Beatrice Bell can sign him out.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, and I hope you find that ID for her.
Thank you, thank you.
Your Honor, I don't remember if they said that number 3 was in courtroom 2 or not. I'm also on that one.
Okay, I don't have number 3 down, Miss Watson Cafe. Who do we have?
This is position 5, Mr. Farmer.
And who represents Mr. Farmer?
Miss Wanda Gaunt, Your Honor.
So Ms. Gann is still in the breakout room.
Yes, Your Honor.
So Dr. Francois, who else do we have in the, can you just give us the numbers?
I have position 11, that is the breakout. Position 7, 1, 6, and 5.
Okay, Ms. Kim,
Also position 15, Mr. Moss. Also 15, Mr. Moss.
are any of those yours, Ms. Kim?
None of them, Your Honor.
Apparently those are all Ms. Gann. So until Ms. Gann comes back, can someone go into the breakout room, Mr. Jordan, and see how long it's, where in the process Ms. Gann is?
And Your
Yes, sir.
Honor, if Mr. Moss has completed the paperwork, I'm not sure if Ms. Sowery had an opportunity to send it to Deputy Norris, but if he has completed the paperwork, then we could do his plea.
Very
I've,
good.
I've sent the paperwork to Officer Norris.
Did you all get the paperwork?
Yes, he has to check. He's taking inmates back to the housing pods.
Okay, so, all right, so until Ms. Gant comes back, I guess that we have to be in recess.
Gave it a shot, Your Honor.
I know you did, Ms.
Is there-
Falk, thank you.
Judge, was there an announcement on Shaquana Clay,
What position is that?
position 3?
No, I was just trying to see if she was in that location. I'm on 3 and 21. so.
Can we, is she at the South Annex?
She may be, I'll check with them.
Okay, maybe if they can come online, we could start there, so not to waste any time. Because you what? And just so that you all know, the reset date for the state all-purpose calendar is going to be June 21st. Get back on. Ms. Gant?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Did you get enough time?
We were finishing up right as Mr. Jordan chimed in.
Okay, very good. So the rest of the cases are yours, but I want to let you know that position number 12, Mr. Holmes, who was one of your case, I gave a signature bond to, a $2,000 signature bond through the jail.
Okay. Regarding the, okay, was there, well, he didn't have any opposition to us stay away. So thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, and there was no further violent contact with the officer that was involved.
All right, thank you.
Okay, and I think that all the rest of the cases that we have in courtroom 2 and in courtroom 3 are yours. So I don't know, Sergeant, do you want us to go there first to courtroom 3, or do you want to go back to courtroom 2?
Courtroom 3 with the interpreter case, please, Judge.
Okay. All right, so who do you want to bring forward? Good afternoon, Madam Interpreter. How are you today?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well also, thank you. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm that you interpret from Spanish to English and English to Spanish to the best of your ability?
I do.
Thank you. And tell me again who we have in courtroom 3?
Judge, I have Mr. Hernandez. I'm sorry, I don't have a position number, but this is Mr. Hernandez.
He is position number 11, Joel Hernandez. Good afternoon, Mr. Hernandez. I'm Judge Eric Morrow, and this is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar.
Buenas tardes, señor Hernández. Mi nombre es el juez Eric Morrow y este es calendario de casos rápidos para fianza.
We're conducting this calendar by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Estamos teniendo esta audiencia por medio de video para evitar el virus. ¿Está de acuerdo usted con proseguir por medio de video?
Sí.
Yes.
You've been charged in case 22 CR 003515D.
Sus acusaciones son del caso 22 CR 003515B.
With driving under the influence of alcohol under the age of 21.
Los cargos son, el primero es manejar bajo la influencia del alcohol siendo menor de 21 años.
DUI less safe.
El segundo es manejar bajo la influencia del alcohol sin estar seguro, o sea, no seguro,
hit and run,
golpeo y fuga,
driving without a valid license and no license plate or decal.
manejar sin licencia de conducir y sin placas o etiqueta.
Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
First arrest.
Say it again, Ms. Roberts.
First arrest.
Oh, thank you.
No, I have my key.
Ms. Sally?
Yes, Your Honor. I actually have a May 10th of 2022 DUI per se and driving while without a valid license. Arrest is open in Cobb.
Madam Interpreter?
Sorry. La fiscalía tiene un arresto en mayo del 2022 que todavía está abierto en el condado de Cobb.
Your Honor, an officer was patrolling 3100 Jasmine Parkway in Alpharetta when they saw the defendant attempting to back into a parking space.
El agente de policía lo vio en el 3100 de Jasmine Parkway en Alpharetta tratando de estacionarse en reversa.
The defendant was slouched over the wheel and revving the engine in an attempt to back up.
Que el demandado el acusado, perdón, estaba acostado sobre el volante y acelerando, intentando estacionarse en reversa.
However, the vehicle was moving in a jerking motion because he was changing gears at the same time.
El vehículo se estaba saltando porque estaba cambiando marchas al mismo tiempo.
The officer witnessed the defendant strike another vehicle in the parking lot.
El agente vio al acusado golpear otro vehículo en el estacionamiento.
The officer made contact with the defendant and the defendant stepped out of the car.
El agente de policía hizo contacto con el acusado y el acusado se bajó del vehículo.
The defendant was extremely unsteady on his feet. He leaned against his car to keep himself from falling over.
El acusado no podía pararse recto y se arrimaba al carro nada más para no caerse.
He had bloodshot, glossy eyes and alcohol coming from his breath.
Los ojos los tenía rojos y tenía el aliento de alcohol.
The defendant admitted to having 7 drinks that night.
El acusado admitió haber tomado 7 bebidas esa noche.
And the defendant refused fields. He refused to give a breath sample and he refused implied consent.
Y el acusado se rehusó a hacer una prueba de alcohol, de aliento, y decir que sí se podía hacer eso.
And the defendant did not have a license plate on his vehicle and did not have a license on his person.
El acusado no tenía una placa en el vehículo ni tenía una licencia en su persona.
Your Honor, I've mentioned the open DUI per se case. The state is concerned about the defendant reoffending.
Mencioné este caso porque el Estado está preocupado de que este acusado ya tuvo una acusación similar a esta.
The recommendation is a $2,000 surety bond on the DUI and DUI under 21.
La recomendación es una fianza de $2,000 por la acusación de manejar bajo la influencia de alcohol siendo menor de 21 años.
$1,000 for hit and run.
$1,000 por el de golpear y fugarse.
And $500 surety for each remaining charge.
y $500 de fianza para cada una de las acusaciones que sobran.
No driving without a valid license.
No puede conducir sin licencia de conducir válida.
Alcohol and drug evaluation and no drugs and alcohol or weapons.
Evaluación de alcohol y de consumo de alcohol y drogas, y no puede consumir droga, alcohol o tener armas.
Nothing further.
Eso es todo lo que dice la fiscalía.
Ms. Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Joel Hernandez is 20 years old and has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area for 4 years.
Muchas gracias, su señoría. Su abogada está diciendo que el señor Joel Hernández ha estado en el área de Atlanta por 4 años, tiene 20 años de edad.
He has family here, but he informs me, Your Honor, that his phone is not in his possession and that he does not recall the numbers to anyone to call to help him with bond.
Él no tiene familia en Atlanta, pero no tiene los números de teléfono, no se acuerda los números de teléfono y necesita ayuda con eso.
Mr. Hernandez completed high school and he also has 1 year of college in literature. He studied back in Guatemala.
El señor Hernández terminó la preparatoria y terminó 1 año de universidad en Guatemala.
He is currently employed at El Potrillo and has been in that position for the past 3 years.
Trabaja actualmente en El Potrillo y ha trabajado ahí por los últimos 3 años.
Your Honor, at this time, we are denying the allegations and am requesting a signature bond.
En este momento, su señoría, estamos negando todas las acusaciones y estamos pidiendo una fianza solamente con la firma.
Mr. Hernandez denies the allegations and further, he has a language barrier.
El señor Hernández niega las acusaciones y también tiene una barrera de idioma.
Then that would certainly influence his understanding regarding participation in field sobriety exercises.
Y eso obviamente le afecta la participación, el que él comprenda la participación de las pruebas de alcohol cuando lo detuvieron.
He is presumed in any open cases as well as this case.
Él en cualquier caso abierto y también en este caso.
He is recommended for a signature bond. However, if Your Honor determines based on the nature of the allegations that he is ineligible, then I am requesting a split bond.
Y estoy pidiendo una fianza, nada más confirma a su señoría, pero si es que su señoría determina que tiene que ser una fianza pagada, entonces estoy pidiendo una fianza dividida.
And that would be $1,000 for each DUI charge.
Y eso sería $1,000 por cada cargo de manejar bajo la influencia de alcohol.
And a signature bond for the remaining 3 charges.
Y una firma, nada más una fianza bajo firma únicamente por los siguientes 3 cargos, por los otros 3 cargos.
And at this time, given that he has not been convicted of any DUIs, we are opposed to the ADET.
Y en este momento, ya que él no ha sido encontrado culpable de ninguna cargo, acusación de manejar bajo la influencia de alcohol, entonces estamos cerca del EDT.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Eso es todo, su señoría.
Okay, it's going to be $1,000 good bond for each of the DUI charges, a $500 good bond for the hit and run, $500 good bond for the driving without a valid license, and a $250 good bond for the no license plate charge, a total of $3,250 good bond.
Ok, y lo que el juez le está dando es la fianza de $1,000 por cada una de las 2 acusaciones de manejar bajo la influencia de alcohol. $500 por manejar sin licencia, $500 por golpear y fugarse y $250 por manejar sin placas y sin calcamonía. Entonces, para un total de $3,250, esa es la fianza que ha sido fijada por el juez.
No driving without a valid license and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
No puede manejar sin licencia de conducir mientras está en fianza y tampoco puede usar drogas beber bebidas alcohólicas o tener un arma durante el tiempo de que esté bajo fianza.
Good luck to you, Mr. Hernandez.
Buena suerte, señor Hernández.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome. Who do we have next?
Position 5, Farmer. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What's your name,
Okay,
sir?
so are we gonna go back to courtroom 3? Who do we have?
Yes, this is Mr. Flores.
Good afternoon, Mr. Flores. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. We're conducting this hearing by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Buenas tardes, señor Flores. Mi nombre es el juez Eric Morrow y estamos haciendo esta audiencia por medio de video para evitar el virus. ¿Está de acuerdo usted en continuar esta audiencia por medio de video?
Sí.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Flores, you've been charged in case 22 CR 003556Y with battery family violence, criminal trespass family violence, and cruelty to children in the 3rd degree.
Las acusaciones del día de hoy que le han puesto a usted son 3 acusaciones. La primera es golpes y violencia doméstica. La otra es crueldad a menores en 3er grado. Y la tercera es traspaso criminal en conexión con la violencia doméstica. Son 3 cargos.
Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
I'm showing 8 cycles, with the last arrest being May 4th of 2016 for alien present without admission or parole with ICE.
El juez pregunta si es que hay otros arrestos y le dejan saber que hay 8 ciclos anteriores y el último fue un arresto por inmigración por ICE.
He has a 2010 conviction for driving while license suspended, a 2014 conviction for disorderly conduct.
Tenía en el 2010, lo encontraron culpable de manejar con una licencia suspendida. En el 2014, por conducta desordenada o mala conducta pública.
He has a 2015 conviction for DUI and driving while license suspended, and a 2016 conviction for 2 counts of endangering a child by driving under the influence of alcohol, DUI, and driving without a valid license, and nothing further.
Ms. Roberts, for the interpreter, can you repeat the last conviction, please?
2016, 2 counts of endangering a child by driving under the influence of alcohol, DUI, and driving without a valid license.
En el 2015 también tuvo un DUI, manejar bajo la influencia del alcohol. Y en el 2016 fueron 2 acusaciones, una de poner en peligro a un menor de edad debido a manejar bajo la influencia de alcohol y otra manejar sin licencia de conducir.
Mr. Segura?
This incident occurred on June the 4th, 2022 at the incident location of 1035 Hemingway Lane, Roswell.
Este incidente ocurrió el 4 de junio del 2022 en el 1035 de Hemingway Lane en Roswell.
Officers responded to a call at the incident location in which police spoke with 16-year-old LJ.
Los agentes de policía llegaron a ese lugar en el cual la policía habló con LJ, un muchacho de 16 años de edad,
who said that there was a domestic incident with the defendant and the victim, his wife, Lilia Navarrete. Lilia, spelled L-I-L-I-A, Navarrete, N-A-V-A-R-R-E-T-E.
Y el muchacho dijo que hubo un altercado entre el acusado y su esposa, Liliana Navarrete.
Ms. Navarrete said that defendant no longer lives at that area and his personal belongings were outside of the apartment.
La señora Navarrete dijo que el señor ya no vive en esa área y que él debía estar, mantenerse fuera del apartamento.
He has no key to the place, and Ms. Navarrete said that she had issues with the defendant for a while.
Él no tiene una llave para la residencia y la señora Navarrete dijo que había tenido problemas con este acusado por algún tiempo.
The defendant climbed up the balcony and used an axe to break the lock.
Mr. Segura, something's going wrong with your audio and it's difficult to understand you.
Can you hear me now?
Do you hear the feedback? Is that just me? Is that happening with everyone?
No, Your Honor, I can hear the feedback as well.
And Your
Okay.
Honor, I pulled up the case just in case we have to sub in.
Okay, or maybe, I don't know, Mr. Segura, what you can do, maybe if you can sit back a little bit, or let's try it again.
Okay. Tell me if there are still some issues.
That's not helping, Mr. Segura. It's difficult to understand you for some reason.
What about now?
No, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's difficult for us to understand you. I don't know how to solve that problem, but Ms. Falk, can you sub in while Mr. Segura, tries to correct his audio?
I could try to log off and not log back in, if that's okay.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. You were doing fine earlier. I don't know what happened, so let's try you logging off and logging back in and see if that's helpful.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I'll just be on standby in case that doesn't work.
Okay. All right, Mr. Segura, you want to try it again? Just
Can you hear me now?
yes, that's better.
Okay.
Okay. You can proceed from where you are. I'm sorry.
The defendant climbed up the balcony and used an axe to break the lock of the door.
El acusado vino por la puerta de atrás y usó un hacha para romper la puerta.
There was damage to the door frame as well as the lock.
Causó daño al marco de la puerta y también a la cerradura.
He got into an argument with Ms. Natalate, and he said that he demanded to see his children.
Tuvo una pelea con la señora Navarrete y dijo que demandaba ver a sus hijos.
The defendant struck Ms. Navarrete on the chest with a closed fist, which resulted in visible red markings.
De ahí el acusado golpeó a la señora Navarrete en el pecho con un puño cerrado, lo cual resultó en moretones.
A child, E.N., who is 8 years old, came out of his room and witnessed the defendant breaking into the balcony and witnessed the defendant striking Ms. Navarrete.
Un niño menor de 8 años fue testigo del acusado entrando a la residencia y golpeando a la señora Navarrete.
The state is recommending a $7,000 surety bond.
El Estado recomienda una fianza por $7,000.
$5,000 for the family battery violence, $1,000 for criminal trespass family violence, and $1,000 to cruelty to children in a third degree.
$5,000 por golpes y violencia doméstica, $1,000 por la crueldad a los niños en tercer grado y otros $1,000 por el traspaso criminal y violencia doméstica.
with the conditions of no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, one-day anger awareness,
Con la condición de no uso de bebidas alcohólicas, no uso de drogas, ni posesión de armas.
one-day anger awareness,
Y un día de una clase de cómo controlar las iras,
a stairway from the 1035 Hemingway Lane, Roswell location,
el no regresar y permanecer lejos de el 1035 Hemingway Lane en Roswell,
no further contact with Lilia Navarrete,
no contacto, nunca, o sea, no, perdón, ningún contacto futuro con Lilia Navarrete,
and third-party transfer of the children,
Can you repeat that for the interpreter, please?
a third-party transfer of the children,
Transferencia de los menores únicamente por una tercera persona.
Accommodations are based on these facts, as well as their special concerns.
Las recomendaciones son hechas bajo el historial, los hechos y también preocupaciones.
Ms. Navarrete is the wife, and we're concerned about her safety.
La señora Navarrete es la esposa y ella está preocupada sobre su seguridad.
We spoke with her this morning, and she said that they have been together for almost 5 years, have no children together, and they do not live together.
Hablamos, I'm sorry, for the interpreter, I just want to make sure I understood that correctly. They've been together for 5 years. They have no children together. Is
But
that
they have children.
Oh, they do have children. Okay. Han estado juntos por 5 años y tienen hijos juntos.
She stated that they broke up, and she put the defendant's belongings outside of the apartment and told him to just pick up his stuff.
Ella dijo que habían peleado, se habían separado y que ella puso las pertenencias del acusado afuera del departamento.
She stated she asked the defendant to leave, but he kept saying that he wanted to see the kids.
Ella dijo que, porque hablaron con ella en la mañana, ella dijo que ella había pedido que el acusado se fuera, pero que no se fue e insistía que quería ver a los niños.
And the oldest daughter eventually called the police because he would not leave.
La hija mayor eventualmente llamó a la policía porque él no se iba.
She doesn't want contact, and she wants to have a stay away.
Ella no quiere contacto y quiere una orden de que permanezca lejos.
We also have concerns because there was an aggravated assault case in 2010.
También tienen un poco de preocupaciones porque hubo un caso de asalto grave en el 2010.
It's technically under the First Offender Act, but because it includes the same victim, we want to talk about the risk of the offense.
Está bajo la ley de la persona de la primera ofensa, pero ya que es la misma víctima, quieren asegurarse de mencionarlo.
We want to talk because there are some facts that are kind of related and similar.
Queríamos mencionar eso porque hay hechos similares y relacionados.
In the aggravated assault case, the defendant struck Ms. Navarrete with his fist, causing serious bodily injury.
En que en ese caso de asalto grave, el acusado pegó a la señora Navarrete con un puño cerrado, causando lesiones.
He punched her multiple times in the face, causing neck and face swelling.
Le golpeó muchas veces en la cara, causando hinchazón de la cara y el cuello.
And there were glass in her hair.
Excuse me for the interpreter.
There were glass on top of her head.
Y rompió un vidrio arriba en la cabeza de ella.
The defendant also took and shook her 1-year-old baby and shook her.
El acusado también agarró a la niña de 1 año de edad y la la meció.
And when the defendant was punching Ms. Navarrete, she said she was unconscious for 15 to 30 minutes.
Y cuando el acusado golpeó a la señora Navarrete, ella dijo que ella estuvo inconsciente por de 15 a 30 minutos.
Like in this case, alcohol was involved and he attacked her.
Ya que en este caso, el alcohol, bebidas alcohólicas estuvieron envueltas y él le atacó a ella.
And alongside, she said that he has been together for a couple of years and was physically abusive to her as long as they were in a relationship.
Dijo que estuvieron juntos por algunos años y que dentro de la relación él era abusivo, abusaba de ella.
So we're concerned about her safety because, like in the 2010 case, there's physical violence and there's alcohol involved and the result of several injuries.
Entonces tenemos preocupación porque en el caso del 2010 también hubo alcohol, hubo violencia física y hubieron lesiones.
We see that in the span of all this time, more than 10 years, there's still physical abuse in the relationship.
Vemos que a largo de todo este tiempo, como 10 años, todavía hay abuso físico en la relación.
And we see that this will only continue.
Y puede solamente continuar.
As such, we want to have surety bond. Thank you.
Y es la razón por la que estamos pidiendo una fianza con dinero, con seguridad, con respaldo.
Ms. Gannon? You're on mute.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Rene Flores is 36 years old and has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area for 15 years.
El señor René Flores tiene 36 años de edad, ha estado en el área de Atlanta por 15 años.
He informs me that he shares 4 minor children with the complaining witness and that he has been married for 12 to 13 years.
Él me informa que tiene 4 hijos menores de edad con la persona que le está acusando y que tiene, I'm sorry, can you repeat the last part for the interpreter?
He has been married for 12 to 13 years.
Y ha estado casado con ella entre 12 y 13 años.
Mr. My apologies, Mr. Flores completed high school and he is currently employed at the $3 Cafe.
El señor Flores terminó la preparatoria y actualmente trabaja en el $3 Cafe.
Mr. Flores denies the allegations, and according to the report that I received, he is recommended for pretrial services, recommended for a signature bond through pretrial services or the jail.
El señor Flores niega las acusaciones y él puede ser recomendado para una fianza.
According to the report that I heard, Mr. Flores was convicted of disorderly conduct in 2010. Therefore, the aggravated assault is news to defense counsel.
De lo que yo sabía, en el 2010, la acusación fue conducta desordenada o mala conducta, lo cual quiere decir que recién se está enterando la defensa, la abogada defensora de la acusación del asalto grave.
Mr. Flores states that he has not been put out of the residence and that he still has belongings at the incident location. Therefore, we are opposed to the stay away.
El señor Flores indica que ellos no han llegado a un acuerdo para que él se vaya de la residencia y aún tiene pertenencias dentro de la residencia. Entonces nos oponemos a la orden de permanecer lejos de la residencia.
However, Your Honor, I have not spoken to Ms. Navarrete, the complaining witness.
Sin embargo, su señoría, yo no he hablado con la señora Navarrete, la testigo que está acusando.
Therefore, we will defer to the court's ruling, and if Your Honor orders a stay away, then I would ask for a one-time law enforcement escort.
Y obviamente vamos a obedecer lo que la corte diga, y si es que la corte ordena que él se mantenga lejos de la residencia, entonces estamos pidiendo una escolta con un agente de la ley por una ocasión.
Lastly, Mr. Flores denies the allegations, and if your honor determines that he is ineligible for a signature bond,
finalmente, el señor Flores niega todas las alegaciones en contra de él y si es que su señoría determina que él no es elegible para una fianza nada más con su firma,
I am requesting a bond of no more than $1,000, and that would be $1,000 for battery family violence and $250 for the remaining counts.
Si es así, estoy pidiendo una fianza de no más de $1,000, $1,000 por la violencia doméstica y golpes y 250 por cada una de las otras acusaciones, el de la crueldad a niños y el de traspaso criminal.
Nothing further, thank you.
Your Honor,
Gracias.
Your Honor, as we could speak, we spoke with Ms. Navarrete, and she said she doesn't want to wants to have a stay away from him. Alongside, we want to make it known that the case name is it's again, I'm pretty sure I said it, but I'll repeat it again. The case for the aggravated assault is 10 SC 95314, and in this case, his name was Rene Juarez Castaneda, which is a GCIC alias.
Y su señoría, quiero nada más hacerle saber que nosotros hablamos con la señora Navarrete y ella quiere una orden de que se mantenga lejos de la residencia. Y en el otro caso del 2010, que fue el SE 95B14, está bajo el nombre de René Flores Castañeda.
Okay, it's going to be $2,000 good bond for the battery family violence, $1,000 good bond for the criminal trespass, and $1,000 good bond for the cruelty to children, third degree.
Ok, la fianza va a ser $2,000 por el cargo de agresión y violencia doméstica y $1,000 por cada uno de los otros dos cargos, el de traspaso criminal y el de crueldad a niños.
No further contact with Ms. Navarrete and stay away from the 1035 Hemingway Way address.
Se le ordena ningún contacto con la señora Navarrete y que permanezca lejos de la dirección del 1035 Hemingway Lane.
He can go back to that address on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings that he may have there.
Puede regresar a esa dirección una sola vez, únicamente acompañado con un representante de la ley. Solamente de esa forma puede regresar para recoger sus pertenencias.
Third party transfer of the children for visitation.
Va a haber, se le va a asignar, o va a haber el uso de una tercera persona para el transporte y que pueda visitar a sus hijos.
And no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Y la orden de no drogas, no alcohol y no armas mientras está bajo fianza.
Good luck to you, Mr. Flores.
Buena suerte, señor Flores.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's see. Are we in need of Madam Interpreter for any other cases today?
Not for the defense, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Interpreter. We appreciate your help today.
You're welcome, Your Honor. You have a good afternoon.
You do the same.
Good
Thank you.
afternoon, Mr. Morrow. Oh,
Good afternoon. Yes.
This courtroom, what was that bond amount? His wife was here in courtroom too, so I can try to explain it to her.
Okay, it's going to be a $4,000 total good bond.
Okay.
And with no contact with her or in to stay away from their address.
Okay.
Okay, got that?
All right, thank you.
Okay, so doing the female?
No.
All right. Who do we have next?
Judge, I have position number 3. Ms. Clay, please, in courtroom 3.
Good afternoon, Ms. Clay. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are
Good
conducting.
afternoon, Mr. Morrow.
Good afternoon, Ms. Clay. We're doing this by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Clay, you've been charged in case 22 CR 003545B with battery. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
She has 3 cycles. Last arrest was March of 2021 for simple battery. She does appear to have an open case out of Fulton County for 2 counts of simple battery. Or maybe not. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna check in Odyssey to see if it's still open. But that was the last arrest.
Okay.
And I don't see any conviction on her GCIC.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Segura?
The incident occurred on June the 4th, 2022 at the incident location of 1252 Epworth Street, Southwest Atlanta. In this incident, officers responded to a dispute call at the incident location. They met with Mr. Christopher Shivers. Christopher common spelling, Shivers spelled SHIVERS, who stated that his roommate, the defendant, cut him with a sharp object. The dispute began when the defendant said something to Mr. Shivers' girlfriend, who was in the defendant's room and who also lives at the residence. When Mr. Shivers came in, the defendant attacked him by cutting with a sharp object, which resulted in a fresh laceration on his right hand finger. The state is recommending a $5,000 surety bond, 1-day anger awareness, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, a stay away from 1252 Epworth Street, Southwest Atlanta, and no further contact with Christopher Shivers. Recommendations are based on these facts, as well as because we're concerned about the danger to Mr. Shivers, as they both live in the same location, and the possible risk of reoffending, as we noticed that the defendant does have that simple battery charge, as well as I could tell, there was also noticed battery charges related to her name that were transferred to Superior Court. Thank you.
Ms. Watson Cafe? You're on mute if you're.
Sorry, Your Honor.
That's
Ms. Clay is 34 years old. She's a lifelong resident here in Georgia. She just recently gave birth to her 2-month-old daughter. We would be opposed to any type of stay away. As you heard from the facts, the alleged victim does not even live at that location. That is the home of Ms. Clay, not his. He was there as a visitor. We vehemently deny these allegations. In fact, it was Ms. Clay, not the alleged victim, who called the police after she was attacked by the alleged victim. Again, we look forward to addressing that further down the line, but as you heard, this is her 3rd arrest. She's a recent mother. She does not have, she doesn't currently have any type of steady income. She was doing some temp work, I believe prior to giving birth at People Ready. So she doesn't have any financial means to do any type of bond. Again, that's pretty much all I have to say, Your Honor. But again, we would be asking, because of her limited history, and even one of those charges do not have any type of conviction on it. She does enjoy the presumption of innocence at this stage. The fact that she called the police, not the alleged victim, in this case after she was attacked by the alleged victim, and her limited means, we'd be asking for a signature bond. If Your Honor is not amendable to doing so, we would ask for a bond no more than no more than $500, so that she can try to get resources to assist her in posting bond in this matter.
Okay, it's going to be a $3,000 signature bond through the jail. No further contact with Mr. Shivers. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Okay, good luck to you, Ms. Clay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Ms. Clay.
Position number 14 is net judge, Ms. Marsh. Marsh. Yeah, Marsh.
Good afternoon, Ms. Marsh. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Marsh, you've been charged in case 22 CR 003542E with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
3 cycles. Last arrested in 2014 for driving while license suspended or revoked. I'm showing a 2010 conviction for DUI, and then a 2015 conviction for driving while license suspended or revoked. Nothing further.
I'm sorry.
Yes, Your Honor, this incident occurred at 1705 North Olympian Way, Southwest in Atlanta. The victim in this case, whose name is Stanley Marsh, he informed officers that he was out with the defendant, who was his wife, at a club when she got upset with him because she didn't like the way another female was looking at him inside of the club. And she told the defendant she told the victim that he needed to stop looking at the female as well. The victim and the defendant then decided to leave. And when they got into the car to go home, they got into a verbal argument, and the defendant punched the victim in the mouth, causing swelling and bleeding to his lip. We were able to speak with the victim. He stated that he is not in fear of the defendant, and he would like contact with her. So we are still asking for the no contact, as there's only been about 2 days since this incident happened. So we would ask for that that no contact for sufficient cooling off period, with conditions of a $3,000 surety bond and 1-day anger awareness course. Nothing further.
Thank you, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor, Ms. Marsh is 48 years old, and they live together right now, and they don't have a children. She does not have anybody else except Mr. Stanley to take care of her. They're taking care of each other right now. She has a job, but she has a job at hotel, but she has not been able to go there for the last 3 days, and she's afraid of her security about the job, whether she's going to lose it or not. And she graduated from high school, and she has technical certificate from the college, 2 years. Since Mr. Stanley is not afraid of her, we would like to request for no further violent contact and for her to return home. And she is recommended for unsecured judicial relief by pretrial services. We would like to request for a signature on bond, Your Honor.
Okay, a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial, 1-day anger awareness class, no further violent contact with Mr. Stanley, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Marsh.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge, I have position number 17, Ms. Reese, next, please.
Okay. Good afternoon, Ms. Reese. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Reese, you've been charged in case 22 CR 003547J with simple battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
1 second. Great. Only 1 prior arrest from 2019 out of Coweta County for giving false name and driving while license suspended or revoked. And then she does have an open felony case. I believe she was in felony first appearance today. I'll have to get what that case was though.
Okay, Ms. Sori.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident occurred at 2235 Burroughs, that's Burroughs Avenue in Atlanta. Officers responded regarding a dispute call. The victim in this case, whose name is Kareem McCullum, He informed officers that while he was holding their son, the defendant pushed the baby in the head. There was a third-party witness that informed officers that she actually saw the defendant knock the victim's hat off of his head and strike him in the face while the victim was walking away. The witness did point out the defendant to be the aggressor. In Your Honor, the victim is on the Zoom call. The state's recommendation is a $2,000 surety bond with conditions of no contact with the victim, a stay away, and 1-day anger awareness course, and a third-party transfer of the children. Nothing further.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Reese is, they are actually in a relationship and they live together. They have a 4-month-old baby. She has 4-month-old who she has to do breastfeeding, and also 2 years old, the little boy, because of those formula shortage, it's very crucial for her to return and take care of the baby who really needs to have a breastfeeding so to survive. We would like to request for signature on bond, Your Honor, so she can go and take care of the baby. And she is engaged. She has her family's here in Georgia. She's been here ever since 2019. She's going to Atlanta Technical College right now, and she has a ties to the community. And I believe that she is, she should get signature on bond.
And Your Honor, I'm sorry, that open case, that felony case was for robbery by force.
Okay, thank you. Mr. McCollum, I see you on the line. If you wish to speak, this is your opportunity to do so. You'll have to activate your camera and unmute yourself if you would like to speak regarding this matter. Okay, it doesn't appear that he would like to address the matter.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there you go, Mr. McCollum. Can you activate your camera for the court?
Yes, sir.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. What would you like to tell the court?
You guys said no contact, but like, to be honest, she got to be here. She needs to be here. She's the mother.
You're not afraid of her?
No, sir. No.
And you want her back in the household?
Yes, sir.
Okay, has this ever happened before?
No, not as serious as this. This used to be just a conversation.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell the court?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you, Mr. McCollum. So it's going to be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial, 1-day anger awareness, no further violent contact with Mr. McCollum, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Reese, and you also, Mr. McCollum.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge, I'm sorry. Did you say SOB signature bond through the jail?
Through pretrial.
Okay, thank you. Judge, I have position number 21. Ms. Warner, next, please.
Okay. Mr. McCollum, she's going to get a signature bond.
Thank you.
And this is which position? I'm sorry, courtroom 3.
Position 21, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Warner. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
No, I have never heard it. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And I'm sorry, I didn't understand your answer, Ms. Warner. Is it all right if we do this by video?
This is my first time.
Okay, so is it all right if we conduct this by video?
Yes.
Okay, Thank you. Ms. Warner, you've been charged in case 22 CR 0035551A with battery. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
I'm showing 7 cycles, with the last arrest being March 18th of 2022 for willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer and criminal trespass in Coffee County. That case appears to be open. A 2003 conviction for DUI, giving false name and driving while license suspended, and nothing further to add.
Okay, Ms. Falk.
Your Honor, this occurred on June 4th, 2022, and it involved the defendant and her live-in girlfriend, Alicia Adams. That is Elisha. Adams, common spelling. The Miss Adams did confirm that they do live together and are in a relationship, and that essentially the defendant scratched her on the arms, which was documented by body worn camera. So initially we charged this as a battery because we did not know the relationship between the parties. But now, upon us substantiating that with Miss Adams, we will be upgrading this to a family violence battery. The defendant, and this is for purposes only of addressing the likelihood of reoffense, the defendant has completed first offender on an aggravated assault case in 2006. She also has a probation violation in 2006 and was arrested for that obstruction as stated by pretrial in March of 2022 in Coffee County. It was obstruction and criminal trespass, which is in fact still open. Although Miss Adams stated that she does not fear the defendant, wants her to come back home, we do have concerns about the nature of the offense, the fact that they were in an argument and it resulted in physical violence, as well as that previous case that does give some rise to some concerns here, and her open 2022 case for obstruction and criminal trespass over in Coffee County, which again does give us some concern about a risk of reoffense. To that end, we are requesting a $3,000 surety bond, no further contact with Alicia Adams, that the defendant stay away from 3725 Princeton Lakes Parkway in Atlanta, Georgia. We are further asking that there be no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as provided, and that there be a one-day anger awareness course. That's all, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Watson Cafe. You're on mute again.
I'll learn one day.
You're fine.
Miss Warner is 42 years old. She has some ties here in the community. She has, her highest level of education was 11th grade. Although we did hear some history, we did hear quite a gap in that history. As far as the stay away, we would be opposed to that. It's my understanding that that residence is actually Miss Warner's residence. Miss Adams lives there because Miss Warner allows her to live there. This is not Miss Adams' residence, so we would be very much opposed to a no, not allowing her to return to her own residence. It's also my understanding that she's the only one on the lease agreement there. She currently works at the Atlanta Zoo, which she's been at for 2 years. She has, because of a recent cancer diagnosis, she has been required to take off these past 3 weeks, so her resources at this time are quite limited. We are asking for a signature bond. If Your Honor is not amendable to the signature bond, we would ask that the bond be no more than $500. I do want to make the court aware that this is another situation where the officers were not called by the alleged victim. It's my understanding that the cops were called by Ms. Warner after she was attacked by the alleged victim. So based on all of that, Your Honor, we would be asking for a signature bond. If you're not amendable to that, then a bond of no more than $500 due to her recent decline in financial resources.
Ms. Falk, did you say that your office had spoken to Ms. Adams? You're on mute also.
That is correct, Your Honor.
And what did she say? I'm sorry.
She confirmed they are in a relationship. They do live together, and she had no objection to contact or to allowing the defendant back into the home.
Okay, thank you. It's going to be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial, one-day anger awareness class, no further violent contact with Ms. Adams, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms. Warner. Who do we have next?
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have. May I be excused?
We don't have very much more to go, Ms. Watson Cafe. You don't want to.
I have another, believe it or not, I have another hearing after this. So.
All right. I'll see you next time. Have a good afternoon.
You too. Thank you.
Yes.
Judge Morrow,
Yes.
I didn't understand.
I'm sorry, who's speaking?
Ms. Warner.
Oh, Ms. Warner, it's going to be a signature bond through pretrial. You're not to have any further violent contact, so you can return to your home. You can't have any more violent contact with her, okay?
We're not.
And you have to also take a one-day anger management course, no drugs, alcohol, while out on bond.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
please give me a call as soon as you get out. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Position 5, Mr. Farmer is next.
Good afternoon, Mr. Farmer. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, how you all doing today?
Doing fine, Mr. Farmer. You've been charged in case 22 CR 0035554J with battery family violence. Is there a history? Ms. Roberts?
I'm showing 6 cycles. Last arrest was in 2016 for simple battery in College Park. A 2012 conviction for DUI, driving while license suspended or revoked. And acquiring a license plate for purpose of concealing identification of motor vehicle. And nothing further to add.
Thank you, Mr. Segura.
This incident occurred on June the 5th, 2022 at the incident location of 603 Sir Charles Drive, Fairburn. Also responding to a domestic dispute call at the incident location. The police stopped the defendant after it was heard that he went off with a weapon. Afterwards, after they arrested and placed the defendant in the police vehicle, they spoke with Miss India Farmer. India spelled common spelling, formal common spelling, who said that she and the defendant were putting together a television. Her phone received a text message from a man she works with. The defendant saw it, got angry, and then questioned her about it. At some point, they started to have an argument in which the defendant began to snatch the phone away from her, which in the process resulted in him scratching her hand and leaving a visible scratch mark on her upper right arm. As the dispute continued, at some point, there was a fight regarding a gun in which he went off with it, in which the policeman card was found in his vehicle. As such, the state is recommending a $5,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, one-day anger awareness, a stay from the 603 Sir Charles Drive, Fairburn, and no further contact with India Farmer. We spoke with Miss India before this morning, in which she said she and the defendant are married, live together, and have 3 children, 2 of which are at home. She said she does not fear the defendant and wants him to come home, but even so, we noticed that all this started because of a simple text message, which inflamed the defendant and which caused this huge dispute, which not only was wife injured, but at some point he went off with a weapon. Because of this extreme escalation by simple text message, we have concerns of if he should be near her and her safety. As such, that's our request for a surety bond. Thank you.
Ms. Gann?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Jarvis Farmer is 41 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area his entire life. He informs me that he is in fact married to the complaining witness, Ms. Farmer. They share 3 children, ages 22, 14, and 12. The children are present in the home. Your Honor, we are opposed to the stay away at the incident location. Mr. Farmer informs me that he wants to continue having contact with his wife. I also spoke to Ms. Farmer. She states that she will be present on the Zoom call to express her wishes to the court as well. Your Honor, Mr. Farmer he obtained a GED. He also went on to study HVAC, and he also has a commercial driver's license. He has been a truck driver for the past 7 years. My client denies the allegations, and Your Honor, it appears that my client's last contact with the legal system was in 2016. He informs me in that matter, this was a different complaining witness. In fact, he states that he was involved in this case because he was acting in defense of his wife. He also informs me that that case was dismissed. According to the report that I received, he is recommended for a signature bond. Therefore, I am requesting a signature bond on his behalf. If Your Honor determines that he is ineligible, then I would ask for a bond of no more than $1,000. Again, we are opposed to the stay away and the no contact orders and ask that Your Honor grant a no violent contact order. Thank you.
If Ms. India Farmer is on the line, this is your opportunity to address the court. You do not have to address the court, but if you'd like to, is that you, Ms. Farmer, on the iPhone?
Yes, good morning.
Good afternoon. Can you raise your right hand? Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down, Mrs. Farmer. What would you like to tell the court?
Regarding the whole incident, it was just about a text message, but it was something that was going on between me and the guy, and he knew it, so that it wasn't just a text message. He knew what the text message was for. With the gun situation, I grabbed the gun first just to get it out of the house. And he just took it out of the car because I took it out of the house and put it in the car. And before he left, he just grabbed it and took it out of the car. So he didn't assault me or anything with the gun. And I want for him to come home. I don't want to stay. I don't want to stay away. I need for him to come home.
Okay. Has this happened before?
No.
Are you afraid of him?
No.
And you do have children in the home?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything further, Mrs. Farmer?
No, sir, that'll be it.
Okay. It's going to be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial, one-day anger awareness class, no further violent contact with Ms. Farmer, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Given that there will be no weapons, you're going to have to find a place for that firearm. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything further for Mr. Farmer?
Nothing further from the defense, Your Honor.
From the state.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Farmer. Mrs. Farmer also.
Thank you.
Who do we have next?
Position 1, Bay.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bay. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Bay, you've been charged in case 22 CR 003544C with fair evasion and criminal trespass. Is your history, Ms. Roberts?
Yes, 26 cycles, 1 out of Texas, 22 out of California, 2 out of Georgia, and 1 out of Missouri. Last arrested in 2010 for a violation of parole out of California. Has a 2004 conviction for theft out of California, 2002 conviction for burglary out of California, 2001 conviction for burglary out of California, and a 2009 conviction for possession of marijuana out of Texas. And nothing further.
Mr. Segura?
This incident occurred on June the 4th, 2022 at Malta, located at 30 Alabama Street, Southwest Atlanta. While patrolling the 5 Points Motor Station, an officer observed the defendant pushing through the emergency gate without paying the required fare. By doing so, the defendant had an active suspension, which was issued on March 29th, 2022, which started back on April 8th, 2022, and will end on June 27th, 2022. The state is requesting that the court retain the $1,500 surety bond that is on record, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, and a stay for all Malta stations. Allegations are based on these facts, as well as there are special concerns that the defendant will reoffend, as he does have multiple, reoffend by committing a crime while out on bond, as he does have, by his record, a parole violation 2010 from California, as well as in Georgia in 2006 and 2010. And we have concerns of his lack of community ties because he has a record out of multiple states. As pretrial has noted, 22 in California, 1 in Missouri, and 1 in Texas. So those are our concerns. Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Gann, it's going to be a $500 signature bond through the jail for each count, which is $1,000 signature bonds through the jail. Stay away from MARTA doing any active suspensions and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Is that okay with you?
Thank you, Your Honor. No objections.
Okay, good luck to you, Mr. Bay.
Position 15, Moss, or actually, he's taking a plea. Is this paperwork complete, Nora?
We have his paperwork.
Okay. Okay. Position 15, Moss.
I have Ms. Bridgewater in court with me today. Can you send her the paperwork, please? Is there anyone in courtroom? Is this the last person for courtroom 2?
No, we have one more, which is position 6. Fletcher, did you want to do him first and then come back to 15?
Oh, I don't have the paperwork yet.
Okay.
So if you can do 6 first, and then we can come right back and do this, and do Mr. Moss. So go ahead and send the paperwork to Ms. Bridgewater so that I can.
It has been sent.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Paul. And tell me again, who do we have?
Position 6, Fletcher.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Fletcher. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state court expedited accusation calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
No, sir.
No, he's supposed
Oh,
to say
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Fletcher, you've been charged in case 22 CR 0035555H with criminal trespass. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
8 cycles. Last arrest was July 2021 for a FTA. He does appear to have another FTA from 2019. He appears to have an open case out of DeKalb County for burglary in the 2nd degree from 2020. He has a 2021, 2019, and 1998 criminal trespass conviction, a 2015 reckless conduct conviction, a simple battery, family violence, and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer conviction in 1998, and then a driving while license suspended conviction in 1995, and nothing further.
Mr. Segura?
This incident occurred on June the 5th, 2022 at 100 Broad Meadow Cove, Roswell. Officers responded to a call about suspicious circumstances at the incident location. They met Miss Barbara Velon. Barbara, common spelling, Velon, B-E-L-L-A-N, who said that she heard 2 separate crashing noises and believed someone could be in her basement. Police found a broken window adjacent to Miss Velon's front door. At the time, no one was found, but they did find a brick that was used to break the window. While officers were sitting on the area, they spotted the defendant moving up and down the sidewalk, pacing while holding his head. The defendant then walked up to Miss Velon's house and stood in front of the porch while looking into the broken window. At that point, he admitted to police that he wanted to apologize because he did break that window with a brick. As such, the state is recommending a $2,000 surety bond, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, a stay away from 100 Broad Meadow Cove, Roswell, and no further contact with Barbara Velon. Allegations are based on these facts, so as they noticed that he has a risk of reoffending and could be a danger to the community because, as pretrial has noted, he has several FTAs in 2019 and 2019 criminal trespass guilty conviction. Alongside, in 2018, he was arrested for loitering and public intoxication. He has an open case in DeKalb County for burglary in the 2nd degree, as well as a 2021 FTA. Alongside, we spoke with Ms. Velon this morning, in which she stated that she is almost 80 years old and this incident has scared her. She said that the window, the screen, and the blinds are damaged and broken, and she just said she tried to attend Zoom, but if she is present, she could speak more on it. Thank you.
Ms. Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Donald Fletcher Jr. is 52 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area his entire life. He does have family in Cobb. However, he does not have anyone to assist with bond. He has reached out to his brother and that has been unsuccessful. We are unopposed to the stay away at the incident location. Mr. Fletcher completed high school. His last bout of employment was in 2015. He informs me that he is partially disabled. He reports falling and he sustained nerve damage to his pelvis and to his spine. Your Honor, today we are denying the allegations and I am requesting, despite my client's history, a signature bond as he does not have the means to pay anything toward bond. We are unopposed to the stay away and the no contact orders. And if Your Honor determines that he is ineligible, then the lowest bond possible as he does not have the means to pay anything. And just also for the record, Your Honor, my client is having some issues with his housing and we are connecting him with services. Thank you.
Okay, it's going to be a $500 good bond. Stay away from the Broadmeadow Cove address. No further contact with Ms. Bellin, and no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Mr. Fletcher.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, Judge, can you repeat the bond again?
500 good.
500, good. Are we ready for Mr. Moss' position? You done?
Are we ready, Ms. Bridgewater?
Yes, sir.
Okay, may I see the paperwork?
Oh, Morris, what was the,
You're filling out my.
Say it again?
You're filling out my part.
Okay, yeah. I just wanted to make sure that okay, so we're ready for Mr. Moss. Good afternoon, Mr. Moss. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation calendar that we're conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Moss, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present at these proceedings. We have provided you with a public defender to represent you today. It's my understanding that you do not wish to utilize the public defender's services, but you wish to proceed pro se, meaning without the advice of a lawyer, and to plead guilty to the charge of criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can put your hand down. Ms. Sori?
Yes, Your Honor. In exchange for a guilty plea for criminal trespass, the state and the defendant have agreed to a sentence of 12 months to serve 3 days, credit for time served 3 days, the balance suspended, and stay away from MARTA located at 235 Peachtree Street, Southwest in Atlanta. Nothing further.
Okay. Is that your understanding of the offer, Mr. Moss?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Did you have I see that you had an opportunity to complete the plea paperwork. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you signed the paperwork?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
All right. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this afternoon?
No, sir, Your Honor.
You do understand that you have a right to counsel, and it's my understanding that you're waiving your right to counsel. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty to this charge?
No, sir, Your Honor.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if you're currently on probation, that your probation may be revoked because of your guilty plea?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, that your immigration status can be affected by your guilty plea?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Do you offer this plea freely and voluntarily with a full understanding of the charge against you?
Yes, sir.
I will accept your plea as negotiated, Mr. Moss. Good luck to you. Any questions for me?
No, sir, Your Honor. Thank you, sir.
All right, and you know you can't go back to that MARTA station at 235 Peachtree Street, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Moss. Who do we have next?
That's it, Judge. I do have a quick announcement for position 2. It's going to be a medical reset.
Okay, is that going to be for tomorrow, 6, 7?
Yes.
Okay,
And then for position 11, Hernandez, what was the bond amount for him?
Mr. Hernandez had $1,000 for the first DUI, $1,000 good for the second DUI, 500 for the hit and run, 500 for the driving without a valid license, and 250 for the license plate or decal, which makes it $3,250 good bond.
$3,250 good bond. Okay, thank you. And
What about position number 4?
Your Honor, I waived his appearance.
Okay, his appearance is waived. And
Yes.
what about position 18?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Position 18 is over here.
Okay, and
Along with
position 22 is over there also?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. So we appreciate it, Francois. We'll see you next time.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Okay. All right, so who do we have?
Position 18, Ms. Sanders.
Good afternoon, Ms. Sanders. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Sanders. You've been charged in case 22 CR 003548E with battery family violence. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
Yes, 5 cycles, 1 out of California, 4 out of Georgia. Last arrest, January of 2020 for battery family violence out of Gwinnett County. There's no disposition listed for that case. She has a 2017 conviction for 3 counts of computer theft. And then the arrest out of California was for shoplifting in 2015, also no disposition listed. And nothing further.
Ms. Falk?
Yes, Your Honor. This case occurred on June 5th, so yesterday, at 3005 First Avenue, Southwest in Atlanta, Georgia. On that date, the defendant struck her live-in partner, Mr. Brandon Mayers. That's Brandon, common spelling Mayers. She struck him in the face with her nails and fists, resulting in scratch marks and a black eye after a verbal argument that the two of them had. So the problem that currently I have and am expressing to the court regarding this defendant is that this is not her first battery. She has a pending family violence battery case in Gwinnett County in 2020, which she received a $1,300 surety bond. I reached out to Gwinnett County and got that information. That was against a different victim. She also had a 2016 case that was dismissed for battery, and also Gwinnett stated that that was a different victim. So this is, a clear pattern of domestic violence happening in regards to Ms. Sanders being the aggressor, where we have a current open case out of Gwinnett where she had already received a surety bond, is back here before the court for another family violence battery against a different individual. We did have an opportunity to speak with the defendant. He stated with the victim, Mr. Mayers. He stated that they do live together. They do not share children. He stated that he wants no contact. He also wants to stay away from this defendant. He stated that he had already given her 60 days notice to vacate, but the 60 days has not approached as of yet. And he would like one-time law enforcement for her to retrieve and remove her belongings from the residence. So the victim in this case, Mr. Mayers, wants nothing to do with this defendant. And given her history, I could understand why. Additionally, the defendant had a first offender revocation for that computer theft from 2017, where her first offender was revoked and she was resentenced. So we are concerned that there is a pattern and risk of reoffense here, as well as a propensity for violence, given those this is her third family violence battery. That is all from the state.
What was your bond recommendation, Ms. Falk?
Probably should have mentioned that at some point, Your Honor.
That's
Our
fine.
bond recommendation is a $5,000 surety bond. No further contact with Mr. Brandon Mayers. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Stay away from the address at 3005 First Avenue Southwest, Atlanta, Georgia.
Thank you. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Sanders is 29 years old, and she has no objection about the stay away. She will go to her mother's place, and she will stay there. And she has been here in Georgia for the last 15 years, and she does have a 6-year-old son that she has to take care of. And she has her families and siblings here in Georgia, and she has a stable job that she has been working for the last 5 years. And she also has associate degree from the college. And not only that, she is recommended by pretrial service for a signature on bond, she has a special medical condition right now. She has an eye condition that her cornea needs a transplant, and she has been waiting for 15 years to get that done. And right now the surgery is scheduled for June 8th, this week, Wednesday. And it's going to be really detrimental to miss that. And she has been waiting. She needs to have her eye taken care of, and we strongly urge and ask for a signature on bond for her to take care of her eye, please. Thank you.
All right, it's going to be $1,000 good bond. No further contact with Mr. Nair. Stay away from the 3005 First Avenue address. She can go back there on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings that she might have there. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. Good luck to you, Ms.
Your Honor.
Simmons.
Next is position 22, Ms. Wilson.
Good afternoon, Ms. Wilson. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the State Court Expedited Accusation Calendar that we are conducting by video to help prevent the spread of the virus. Do you agree to have your case heard by video? Thank you. Ms. Wilson, you've been charged in case 22 CR 0035552G with obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Is there a history, Ms. Roberts?
One prior arrest from January of 2021. And that was for furnishing to purchase of or possession by persons below legal age of alcoholic beverages, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, and DUI. That was in Dunwoody. So that is an open case out of DeKalb County.
Thank you. Ms. Falk?
This occurred at 740 Sidney Marcus Boulevard, Northeast in Atlanta, Georgia. Upon arriving at that location, officers saw the defendant running down the stairwell toward the officer. She was not wearing her shoes and was bleeding from the mouth. This was after a report of a fight in progress between, and we're not sure if it was between the defendant and a male party. I will say that a male party was also located at the scene. And then the defendant was located at the scene, and the caller stated it was a fight between a male and a female. So we are extrapolating that the defendant was the victim in that particular fight. When officers arrived, Officers Parker and Officers Brittany Maxwell tried to assist the defendant, asked if she was okay. At that point, she got into a fighting stance and began yelling profanities at the officers. When they then approached her and continued to try to inquire if she was all right, she actually threw a punch at Officer Parker and then swung on Officer Maxwell. At that point, after they had attempted to de-escalate the situation and were actively being attacked, Officer Maxwell then sprayed the defendant and placed her in handcuffs. They did pour water on her face to wash off the OC spray, but even after being placed in handcuffs, the defendant continued to try to fight the officers, actually kicked Officer Parker and spit numerous times at the officer. She was later transported to Grady and received stitches in her lip for the cut which the officers had observed when she had come running down the stairs towards them. Honestly, Your Honor, the state is kind of mystified at why this occurred in the way that it did, especially when the officers were attempting to assist the defendant, why the defendant went into this rage against the officers. It is very confusing as to why this happened the way that it did when the officers were legitimately trying to offer assistance to this defendant. The state's recommendation, and this is largely based on the fact she has an open pending case out of Dunwoody, is a $1,000 surety bond, that she stay away from 740 Sidney Marcus Boulevard Northeast, and that she have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. I will say we are willing to lift the stay away if we can determine that she lives at that residence, but unless she actually lives there, we ask that she not be allowed to return. And we are requesting 1-day anger management. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor, Ms. Wilson is 20 years old, and she has been here in Georgia for more than 10 years. She's not married. She's a single, no children. However, she has her parents and siblings here in Georgia, and she does have a job. She has a stable full-time job for the last 2 years, and she is actually missing her graduation date today, which she was supposed to get certificate for skincare, that she has been going to school for last 9 months. She successfully completed high school, and we would like to request for signature on bond on this. She was very scared, and I believe that she was a victim, and she was not a first aggressor. She just has to go to 740 Sidney Marcus, where she does not live. She has to go there just to get a car. That's all, Your Honor. Thank you. And Miss Wilson, I strongly recommend you not to speak at all unless it is directly related to the bond. Thank you.
All right, it's going to be $1,000 signature bond through the jail. Stay away from the 740 Sidney Marcus Boulevard address. You can go back there on one occasion with law enforcement to retrieve any belongings that she might have there. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck to you, Ms. Wilson. Okay, that completes South Annex. Okay.
Bye. Take care, y'all.
You're welcome. See you
Thank you.
tomorrow. And let's go to position.
We're not to meet.
4, yes. Mr. Dallas, who's waiving his appearance, and we do have the paperwork. So, Mr. Segura?
This incident occurred on June the 5th, 2022 at Malta, located at 224 Piedmont Road, Northeast Atlanta. In this instance, officers were on routine patrol when they saw a defendant entering the handicap tailgate while attempting to pay the required amount. When police came up to the defendant, he was told that he was under arrest. He resisted by running away, going west side, and while he was on west side, he was interrupting service and disobeying officers, giving him verbal commands to exit the wayside area. In those chase, the defendant went between Peachtree Center and the Civic Center to avoid arrest for about 18 minutes, at which point he was able to be arrested. The state is recommending that the Honor retain the $4,500 surety bond that is on him already, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, and a stay away from Malta. Allegations are based on his facts, as well as he has some history in that in 2014, he has a probation violation, which he was guilty. Alongside 2015, we're concerned that he could risk of reoffend because 2015, he was guilty of obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Alongside, he has probation violations in 2019 and 2020. And he was arrested in 2021 for obstruction of law enforcement officers. Alongside, we're actually making known that the defendant is still on probation based on an entering automobile case, which is 21 SC 179621, in which he's still on that 12-month probation. Alongside, he's also has a pending public indecency charge, 21 CR 0049688C, in which we believe he's also still on probation. So by committing these charges, he's making 2 probations on 2 different charges. As such, that is our request for a surety bond. Thank you.
Ms. Gant? You're on mute. Ms. Gant?
I do apologize. Mr. DeAndre Dallas is 32 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area for 2 years. He has family here, although he informs me that he does not really have anyone to assist with bond. We are opposed to the stay away unless there is an active MARTA suspension. Mr. Dallas completed 11th grade. He is working on his GED. He later on took a trade. He is a certified electrician. However, he is not working in that field. He informs me that he has been employed at McDonald's for the past 4 months. Prior to that, he was unemployed for a period of time. Therefore, he does not have the means to pay much toward bond. He denies the allegations, and Your Honor, I'm requesting a signature bond on Mr. Dallas's behalf. And if Your Honor determines that he is ineligible, I would ask for a bond of no more than $1,000. And that would be $500 for the obstruction of law enforcement officer and $250 for the remaining charges. Thank you.
Why is Mr. Dallas not with us this afternoon?
Because there was an incident after the interview, my interview with him at the jail.
Okay. So for the obstruction, $1,000 signature bond, criminal trespass, a $500 signature bond, fair evasion, $500 signature bond. So it makes it a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond, and abide by any active MARTA suspensions.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so I think that concludes the calendar. And once Ms. Bridgewater is ready, we'll go over the calendar.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Again, the reset date for the SAP calendar is going to be June the 21st. Position number 1 is being reset further notice with a $1,000 total SOB through the jail. Position number 2 is a medical reset till tomorrow. Position 3 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 4 is reset further notice.
I have the jail. Am I wrong on that?
I have the jail for position 3 as well.
Okay, not a problem. Through the jail, okay. Okay, position 4 is reset further notice with a $2,000 total SOB through the jail. Position 5 reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 6 is reset to the SAP calendar with a $500 good fund. Position 7 is reset to the SAP calendar with a $4,000 total good bond. Position 8 reset to the SAP calendar with a $3,000 good bond. Position 9 reset further notice with a $1,000 SOB through the jail. Position 10 reset further notice with a $4,000 total SOB through pretrial. Position 11 is reset to the SAP calendar with the $3,250 total good bond. Position 12 is reset further notice with the $2,000 total SOB through the jail. Position 13 is reset to the SAP calendar with a $500 good bond. Position 14 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 15 took a plea. Position 16 is reset to the SAP calendar with a $3,000 total good bond. Position 17 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 18 is reset to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. Position 19 reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 20 is reset further notice with a $5,000 total SOB through pretrial. Position 21 reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 22 is reset further notice with a $1,000 SOB through the jail. And the add-on case is reset further notice with a $4,000 total SOB through the jail. Are there any questions, comments, or otherwise?
Yes, Ms. Bridgewater, regarding position 12, may you repeat the bond amount and also the breakdown?
Sure, I will. Position 12 is reset further notice with a total of a $2,000 SOB through the jail. I'm showing $1,000 on each charge through the jail, SOB through the jail.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Are there any others?
No? Okay, you all have a good afternoon and we'll see you tomorrow.